Welcome to this quick Yin Yoga practice to alleviate stiffness and tightness in the hips. This is a great practice to do at the end of your day right before bed to undo that accumulated day's tension or to take a break in the middle of your day. Meet your body where it is today, skip or modify any of these postures if they do not work for you. You can also take a different variation or just take a different pose. We will be using a yoga blanket throughout today's practice, but feel free to grab any other props that you feel that you may need for support. In today's Yin practice, we will be holding each posture for 5 minutes. Remember, your body is the guru. Honor and listen to it. Let's begin our Yin practice with our first pose, butterfly pose. Bring the soles of the feet together, and then draw the heels in towards the body. Let your knees open and fall away from each other. Grab the outer edges of your feet, and let your outer hips roll out towards the floor. Grow tall through your spine. Relax the shoulders and the neck down. Draw the upper back and the heart center forward. Relax the muscles of the face. And then check in with your breath. Make sure that you're inhaling and exhaling smoothly, not clenching or holding your breath or forcing yourself into this pose. You always have the option to place yoga blocks under the knees to bring the ground up closer if needed. This stretch can be intense, and you want to make sure that you're not clenching up anywhere else in the body. If at any point your mind wanders off and you find yourself ruminating on thoughts, just bring yourself back to the breath. Scan through the body. Make sure that the feet are relaxed, the lower legs. Soften your hip points as you stretch into the hips and the inner thighs and in the groin. Butterfly pose is also great for alleviating sciatica. As the body begins to soften from holding this pose, you may want to lean forward and fold forward a little bit more. Really checking in with your body. It really is a guru. And your sensations will let you know where you are. So if you're in too deep, forcing and feeling pain or cramping up, just back off of the pose. Scan through the body, soften the feet, calves, thighs and hips. Let the stomach inflate and deflate as you breathe. Use your exhalations to soften the upper body. Use your inhalations to grow the spine long. It may feel good to move the body from side to side, getting a little bit more into the hips and releasing the back and the spine. It also serves as a great distraction. Take your final inhale and exhale and release butterfly pose. Place the hands behind the hips, bring the soles of the feet to the ground. Drop the knees over to the right, and then through center and over to the opposite side. You can also pause when the knees hit the ground, stretching into the chest and releasing the hips. Let's move into head to knee pose, also known as half butterfly pose in Yin Yoga. You're going to extend the left leg straight in front of you. Bring the right sole of the foot to the inner left thigh. Let the right knee open and fall over to the right. Sit up nice and tall. Lengthen your spine as you inhale. Exhale to hinge forward over the left leg, sending your chest towards your left toes. You can grab onto the shin or the toes. Use your inhalations as opportunities to lengthen your spine so the heart center moves forward, the crown of the head moves forward towards the toes, and then use your exhale to soften from your hip points to move in deeper into your forward fold. Use your inhalations to lengthen the sides of the body, and then fold as you exhale, even if it's millimeter by millimeter. If your hands are resting on the ground or holding onto your shins, you have the option of using the right hand to grab the left toes, stretching a little bit more into the lower back and all the way up to the right underarm. You can rest your left hand on the ground. As you inhale, create space, elongate the spine out of the hips, and as you exhale, soften and melt into that space that you created. We're going to release half butterfly pose. Walk the hands back towards the hips, sit up nice and tall. And let's switch over to the other side. Straighten the right leg in front of you. Bring the left sole of the foot to rest high up on the inner right thigh. Bring the fingertips to the ground and elongate your spine as you sit up nice and tall. And when you find your exhalation, hinge forward from the hips, fold forward. Find the variation that works for you and breathe smoothly and deeply. And I invite you to use those deep inhalations and releasing exhalations out through the mouth to relax and soften into the pose. Holding these postures for a long time helps the nervous system to calm down. It helps the connective tissue, the fascia of the body that wraps around muscles and joints, to soften and stretch, breaking down tightness and stiffness and tension. Take an inhale and gently roll the spine up to release. Bring the soles of the feet flat onto the ground, and then drop the knees from side to side, windshield wiping the legs, releasing the hips and the spine, and also getting a little stretch in the chest. Come into easy seated pose, Sukhasana. Soften your gaze or close your eyes and take an inventory and scan the body. How does the lower half of the body feel now since the beginning of practice? If the eyes were closed, gently blink them open. Thank you for joining me for practice. Peace and ease to you.